Hey writers, I want to talk about those excuses that we make not to work, those reasons that we aren't getting around to our writing. Wouldn't it be great if they just weren't there? So if you find yourself coming up with reasons not to write, here's what you can do. I want you to understand that there are two parts of the mind. One of the parts of the mind is a whole repertoire. It's like a filing cabinet of archives of everything that's happened up until this point. And that's where all of your excuses are. That's where all of the reasons not to write are. They're in that filing cabinet. Okay. And then we have a second part of the mind where our inspiration comes from, new ideas. So it's got nothing to do with that old filing cabinet, that store of things that have happened. This other part of the mind is where things are born, where inspiration takes us into a new vision into the future. Okay. So when we're in that place and we're making excuses not to write, we're rifling through the filing cabinet. And because that's a store of everything that's happened, if we continue to rifle through those files, we continue to repeat everything that's happened. And so that's why when we're in that place of making reasons not to write, making excuses not to work, we don't work. Because there isn't a file in that filing cabinet of us succeeding and taking our project right through to the very end, because that's part of the new. Okay? So here's that moment when you find yourself making an excuse not to work, when there feels like a really compelling reason not to make progress with your writing. What you need to do in that moment is to just say, oh, I'm rifling through the past right now. I get it. And it's okay. And so then in that moment where you come and you put your awareness on the truth, you then come out of the filing cabinet and you're like, oh, what just happened there? Like I just sunk right into my past. And then you come back into the present moment. And in the present moment, you find the beginning of that idea or the middle of that idea, wherever you are in your writing project. And then you have the opportunity to connect to that. And then what will happen is that you will face the truth of what compels you to make that excuse to not work in the first place. So maybe in the present moment you discover a little fear of what if this idea isn't good enough. But you know what? That's better than being stuck in the filing cabinet, because when you face that fear, you're basically looking at a gate. And that gate is the perimeter to everything that you've experienced up until this moment. So if you don't go through that gate, you're effectively staying in the filing cabinet. You're effectively staying in your repertoire of everything that you've created and done in your life thus far. If you walk through that gate, then you walk through and you grab that idea and you see it through until the end. And then by walking through that gate, you have stepped into an infinite sphere. And you're no longer limited by that excuse that used to stop you up until this moment. Whenever that excuse crops up again, you're like, you're not strong enough to hold me this time. I walked through the gate. I know the way now. And you grow as a writer. You grow your strength. You grow your courage. And you suddenly realize, it's been a really long time since I made an excuse not to work. And then you realize, holy shit, I stepped into my potential. So there we go, writers. The next time you find yourself making an excuse not to work, make a choice. Stay in the filing cabinet or walk through the gate into your infinite potential. I know which one I like the sound of. So sending this lovely advice to you on this beautiful Monday. And if you haven't yet subscribed and you really want to make progress with your writing, this is going to be the place for you. So think about joining me along in this amazing journey and keeping in touch with the videos as they come out. I'm here twice a week and always on the sofa every Monday. So I look forward to catching up with you next week. Keep writing.